So you buy yourself a Keltec RDB and you want to upgrade it. We're going to look into that today. So the first thing people seem to want to upgrade is the front rail. The foregrip, it's not that great. It's made out of polymer. It kind of gets malleable when it gets hot. If you've been shooting a lot, it doesn't dissipate heat very well. If you put pressure on the front, it will actually throw your shots off, I've found. I'll do a video about that at a different time. So options for these, Keltec has their own aluminum M-LOK foregrip that you can buy. Another company that's made some is Lucky Irishman. He's made several different kinds, especially for different lengths of barrels. This is what it looks like on my RDB here. It's all M-LOK, and I've shown it in other videos. It does cut off quite a bit from the bottom. The bottom, this rail tends to sit, I don't know if it'll show that, but this here, this portion of that rail covers this here. So it cuts off quite a bit. So this is the Rhino rail from Lucky Irishman. It's pretty sturdy. It's actually a lot stronger than I thought. I'm gonna do some testing to see if we can't put a little pressure on the front, and if that flexes the barrel, how bad it throws your shots off compared to your polymer one. He's got the Raptor rail, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's slanted in the front as opposed to flat flush like this. The trigger on it isn't bad. It's probably, make sure it's clear. The trigger's not bad. It's about a 4-pound trigger, 4 or 5 pound trigger, I would say. Feels about like a mil spec. If you ever shot any sort of bulb up, this trigger is a lot better than the Tavor, or any other bulb up. I haven't shot many other than the Tavor in this, so I can't really speak to that. That's kind of speculation from what I've heard. Mcarbo makes a replacement trigger spring. So right in here, there's a little spring that puts tension on this piece here before it releases the rest of the trigger group. The stock trigger weight for this rifle is 4.75 to 5.5 pounds. It modifies that trigger, the Mcarbo trigger spring modifies that down to about 2.5 pounds, which is extremely light for a rifle like this. I haven't found that the trigger causes any problems for me. It's not something that I'm gonna do to it. It's not something that I'm into. I think the trigger's fine. It's not heavy at all. So what else can we update on this rifle? So this here is the stock butt plate, obviously. This rifle doesn't kick very hard at all. It does jump since it's a piston-driven rifle, and if you have one, then you know how that works. This piece here is a little rubber piece. It falls off all the time. This back plate is pretty chintzy. It's kind of flimsy, honestly. I actually cracked it trying to mortar the rifle when I had a jam up inside here. The one thing you can upgrade with that is Haga Defense makes a butt plate update. You can actually get a new butt pad. Enhanced butt pad is what it's called. I'll link it in the description below. They're about $80 right now. And on the overlay here, you'll see that it's got a rubber pad on the back. It's got a little QD mount in there, and it's made out of some pretty high quality injection mold polymer there. Next thing we can get on that is from Haga Defense again, is this flared mag well. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's 2 screws here, 2 on the other side. You remove those, and it comes with longer screws to put this in here. The flare in there does, I think, in my opinion, does help kind of seat those magazines better. It gives the rifle, I think, a better look, a little bit more flush than that weird angle they had there. The one thing you can't do with this is if you're into putting those drum mags or anything like that into here, it's not going to take those. That's the one downside for this. part, but I think all in all, it's a pretty good part. I've found that it helps feed mags a lot quicker. So the last thing I've found from Haga Defense is a top cover. It kind of goes over this. I guess it clips onto this or it replaces this. I don't know. I haven't got it. For me, my cheekbones are kind of to the point where when I lay against this, I have to kind of tilt my head down for this. It's almost too, sits almost too low for this. You can get it. It makes it sit up a little bit higher. Like at the overlay here, you can see it just kind of boosts that up. Not something that I'm into, but I mean, people might be into that kind of stuff, obviously, because he's making it. Those are about $60 at the moment. I'll link that in the description below. So another thing that is made by Lucky Irishman is you can get it for either side. It's a bolt release. Basically, I don't have one. I kind of want to get one. But basically you replace, I can't remember which screw it is, and it kind of gives you an extended lever to help with this, because if you ever shot this, you know that this is really hard. Once you get a mag in there, going over the top is really annoying. You have to almost just slingshot the bolt to get it to go. And it gives you like a extended lever to break that. You can do it on this side, but he has one for the other side. As the overlay kind of shows, you can get it for either one. There's one last part that I've found for aftermarket parts for this rifle. It's not so much a functionality thing, but it is a brass catcher. It's called it comes from Custom Cast USA. I have a brass catcher for Keltec RDB. I'll link that in the description below. Basically, what it does is you replace these screws with a I guess a piece of metal. I don't know. I haven't seen one in person. I'll link a video of theirs in the description. But it basically sits here. There's a little bag, and then it just has a spring that you can pop out from that. I'm working on my own brass catcher because I don't like the idea of having to remove these screws and basically have it permanently on your rifle. Right now I have basically just this. It's a prototype for me. You can stick it on here, do it with one hand even. Kind of a long bag, but it holds quite a few rounds. When it's done, you just kind of open it up like that and just kind of shake them out. Works pretty well. I've used it a couple times. And it comes off pretty simply too. And it's just a bag. It's got a piece of sheet metal around it. Definitely work in progress. Definitely work in progress. I'm working with some friends who have a 3D printer. We're trying to get a tray that it just slaps on here. Same idea. This piece is kind of a prototype. Doesn't work super great. Same idea. Snaps on with a bag, and then you can snap it off when you're done with it. Doesn't have to be permanently on there. So guys, that's all I have for you today. Hopefully you guys gleaned some information off of that. Like, share, and subscribe if you would. It really helps me out. But if this information helped you out by any means, please do leave a comment below, subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends. Hopefully I'll be able to do some more videos coming up. Without a lot of ammo around, there's not a lot of shooting I can do. I'm not sponsored by any means, and I have to glean my ammo off the empty shelves just like everybody else. So, stay tuned for more Keltec stuff, and check out my other stuff, not just the Keltec stuff. So, enjoy!